Most people assume financial stress is a numbers problem, that more income or better budgeting solves it. That's what financial advice teaches. That's what personal finance videos tell us. And that's what search queries like, "Why do I still feel poor with a good salary?" or "How to stop financial anxiety" are full of. But what if almost everything you think about money stress is backward? What if the pain isn't caused by money itself, but by a psychological system built into the way we think about it? That's what this video explores. Think about this for a moment. You check your bank app more often than you check the weather forecast. Not because you want to, but because in the back of your mind, your brain is scanning for danger. Not danger in the physical sense, no bear, but danger in the emotional sense. Is my stability slipping? Nothing physical changes, just a number on a screen. And yet your body reacts as though something is wrong. That's not incompetence. That's not laziness. That's human psychology. Algorithmic searches like, "Why earning more doesn't make me feel secure," show this is not an isolated feeling. This is widespread. This is psychological. Most financial courses treat money like a calculator. Earn more, save more, invest well. But calculators don't feel. Brains do. And your brain didn't evolve to feel calm about abstract numbers. It evolved to respond to threats. When money becomes symbolic of security, status, future certainty, it stops being neutral. It starts affecting emotion. This is the first psychological trap. You aren't scared of losing money. You're scared of losing confidence that you'll be okay tomorrow. Here's the uncomfortable part. Modern financial systems don't just depend on productivity. They depend on confidence. Markets rise not because companies always grow. They rise because people believe they will. Banks lend not because risk disappears. They lend because people believe loans can be repaid. And personal finance works the same way. You feel secure not because your balance sheet is strong. You feel secure because you believe it's strong. Now here's the twist that most people never notice. Increasing income doesn't automatically increase confidence. In fact, often it feeds the cycle of stress. You earn more, and suddenly expectations rise. From society, friends, family, and most critically, yourself. A higher salary no longer signals safety. It signals a new baseline you must maintain. Income increases. Anxiety stays the same. And sometimes it even increases. This explains why search queries like, "Why do I still feel poor with $100,000 salary?" are so common. It's not about the number. It's about what the number represents in your mind. Let's unpack this. Money doesn't represent actual security. It represents belief in security. That belief is shaped by expectations, comparisons, fear of losing status, fear of losing freedom, not objective risk. When someone sees a peer with a nicer lifestyle, even if they can't afford it, the brain interprets it as a threat. Not rationally, emotionally. That's why comparisons feel like financial danger. And here's another layer most people miss. Comparison is not a conscious choice. It's a psychological default. Our brains are wired to scan for threat, and inequality registers as one. That's why a raise feels good for a moment, but soon you're trying to match or outrun someone else. This is why searches like, "Why does money anxiety never go away?" are so frequent. It's not a budgeting issue. It's a cognitive wiring issue. So let's rethink this. You earn more not to solve anxiety. You earn more because you think it will solve anxiety. That distinction matters. Because when money becomes a proxy for emotional safety, no amount of income is ever enough. This creates a loop most people never see. Earn more expectations, rise anxiety returns. Earn more, and what most people call financial discipline is usually just an attempt to break that loop. But discipline alone can't fix a psychological system. Now let's talk about qualitative risk versus emotional risk. Your brain is far better at handling real, measurable danger, like a falling object, than it is at handling abstract financial fear. Real danger, lunges, drops, immediate consequence, financial fear, numbers on a screen, probabilities, future uncertain. Your brain doesn't like uncertainty. It reacts to it. So when your bank app shows a number that feels too low, even if it's objectively enough, your nervous system interprets it as unmet expectation. Not shortfall, not failure, unmet expectation. That's a psychological trigger. Now here's where actual change begins. Understanding this doesn't mean rejecting money, or seeking minimalism, or pretending stress doesn't exist. It means recognizing what stress actually is. Stress is not a signal of lack. It's a signal of perceived threat to stability. And threats can be internal, fear; external, comparison; imagined, uncertainty about tomorrow. Understanding this means you see money not as a verdict, but a tool. You see emotion not as failure, but data. You see anxiety not as a flaw, but a signal. Money stops being something that tests you and starts becoming something you can navigate calmly. This doesn't happen overnight, but clarity always calms the mind more effectively than income ever could. When you learn to interpret money psychologically instead of emotionally, you begin to break the loop. You begin to stop checking the bank app like it's a weather warning. You begin to treat money as a tool, not a verdict. And that change, subtle though it is,